everyone, and welcome back to Chainlink Q&A. My name is Zaji Reyes here on behalf of Chainlink Labs, and I'm super excited to be here with Randy from Black Pearl Studios and Kamp Kilmer. Hey, Randy, how's it going?
Hey, Zaji, how are you?
Doing good, doing well. Super excited to be here with you. Randy and I actually caught up at NFTLA, so it's nice to not only see you in person, but also be here on the interwebs chatting about the Chainlink integration and everything that Kamp Kilmer is up to.
Thank you, Saji. Yeah, it's really incredible when you meet people in the space and then you see them in real life, and now we're transacting, it seems, more and more from a business standpoint. So it's great to see you, and it's great to be working with Chainlink.
Yeah,
On
it's
Val
always
Kilmer's
really
Kamp
great.
Kilmer.
Yeah. So actually, jump into it. What is Kamp Kilmer? I don't think everyone is fully aware that Kamp Kilmer was started by Val Kilmer, so it'd be great to hear how all of that ties together.
Okay. So I don't know if many of you have seen the documentary that Val did recently. It was called Val. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's incredible. And what many people know about Val is that he's not only this legendary actor, he's been trained at Juilliard. People know him as an actor, but they don't know that he's also been an artist and a musician and a poet for many, many, many years. And he had land in New Mexico, about 10,000 acres. And his dream was always to build on those acres kind of a communal place where artists and musicians and collaborators could come and celebrate creativity. That was his dream. And in fact, he created kind of a place in Los Angeles to do just that, a studio and a gallery. And then COVID happened. And Val got cancer. And although the cancer is gone, his mobility is not as it used to be. So it's really profound to be able to bring his vision into the metaverse and the space, and to help him create a legacy and to fulfill his dream of creating a space where people could collaborate. So that's very incredible. And I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. And when you first shared the story with me, I could really tell how much intention was put behind this project. And so I think it's really great that we can share that with both of our communities. Would it be helpful to share a screen and maybe chat about the letter that he wrote to kind of get the understanding of where this is coming from?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to put forth his vision is with his own words. And he actually put down his own words and kind of detailed what his thoughts on Kamp Kilmer were. So if you don't mind, I'll actually read that letter to you.
Yeah, please go ahead. I think everybody can see it now.
My name is Val Kilmer. I'm an artist. I've lived a magical life. For more than half a century, I've been owning my art, no matter the medium, be it literature, movies, poetry, painting, music, or tracking exotic and beautiful wildlife in the most remote African bush. To capture ephemeral moments with a camera, I yearn to express my creative spirit. 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with throat cancer, and after much prayer, medical science, and the love of my family and community, I beat cancer. But because of the radiation and chemotherapy interventions, my voice and throat were severely damaged. It isn't easy to talk and be understood. I'm improving all the time, but I'm not able to be out in the world the same way I had become accustomed. When one thing is taken, though, another is given. With little voice, my creative juices were boiling over and pouring out of me. I started creating again, painting, writing, anything I could. I felt the art healing me. I wanted to share this with others, and I started looking for a place to do so. I found a large studio in Hollywood, a fun, sacred space where artists, musicians, muses, collectors, and friends could gather to celebrate creativity. It became a beacon of the Hollywood art scene and was quickly filled with art. Giant collages of other icons like Bowie, charcoal drawings by Eric Nash, Polynesian pop art by Bosco Herjak, and works by many other bright young minds, as well as myself. I had dreamed of such a place since living in the wilderness in New Mexico, and then the unthinkable, a global pandemic that pushed us all into our homes. You can't snuff out destiny. The story is far from over. Enter Kamp Kilmer. Kamp Kilmer is a destination where creative beings gather to express themselves in exciting and innovative ways while contributing to the evolution of the arts through technology and connectivity. A living, breathing, virtual space with boundless possibilities where a community of eclectics and artists can thrive without limitations of space and time. A decentralized hub where we come together to share ideas and collaborate on art, film, music, and literary projects. Is it calling out to you as well? And that is Val's vision of Kamp Kilmer.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, it's really helpful to read through it because then you feel like you're almost with him as he writes it and he talks about it, which I find to be really helpful when understanding the overall mission of what Kamp Kilmer is designed to do. So thank you so much for reading that for us. It's really special to hear it. And yeah, in general, I know that Kamp Kilmer and Chainlink work together to collaborate with our VRF integration, and it was focused on the God Panels NFT project. So do you maybe want to chat about God Panels, and then we can get into the integration too?
For sure. So the God Panels project it's the first collaborative project, the first collaborative NFT project within our Kamp Kilmer ecosystem. And what it does is it utilizes a first of its kind art engine that enables the creation of collections of collaborative, dynamic, and continuously evolving digital art pieces. So here's kind of how it works. Val has created this really beautiful high art, fine art collection called God Panels. And he's painted these individually. And how the project initially unfolds is there's going to be a public sale of the Genesis God Panel art pieces, and that happens this Friday, April 15th. And those have been created by Val. And the Genesis pieces become the foundational basis of this collection of collaborative, dynamic, and continuously evolving digital art pieces. So, subsequent to the sale of the Genesis pieces, multiple artists from the space are going to be invited to participate in expanding the collection through their collaboration, where they're going to actually create these new derivative pieces. And each artist that we bring in will bring a new feeling or theme to this ever evolving collection. So within this construct, there's going to be multiple series from different artists that are going to evolve. It's going to maintain as a single collection, but that collection will evolve as time goes on. And even more so as the project evolves, we're going to include a lot of gamification elements that are going to be introduced, and there's going to be community tools that are implemented so that we can enable the owners of the God Panels to actually manage the project as it evolves, choose the collaborators. And what that does is it creates, we step out of the way and it creates kind of an autonomous art collection that can continue to expand really beyond our lifetimes. And as Chainlink VRX is involved.
VRF, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to? Let's edit that out.
Yeah.
So as it's very important, the partnership that we have with Chainlink VRF. And the reason is because each God panel is going to be, there's going to be 3,610 in the collection, in the initial collection. And there's going to be 4 categories of randomness. There's going to be common, rare, legendary, and iconic. And what Chainlink is going to provide the ability to do is ensure that all of the pieces that the collectors are purchasing are truly random, and that each person who mints one gets a fair shot. So there's complete transparency in that process. It's an essential element, and Chainlink's technology provides that ability and that element. It's incredible technology, and it's extremely consistent with what we're doing and why we're in Web3, and propelling the transparency that's so necessary for these projects. And so we're very grateful to our partnership with Chainlink on this project for that very reason. And I think that the collectors will also be grateful because they know that they can trust what's happening behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah, no, that's super important. And as you mentioned, there's different levels to the collection. And so ensuring that no matter who you are, where you come from, or your background, you're able to get a truly random piece from the collection. So I think that that's going to be really, really important for this community, especially since it seems like they really do value that connectivity, right, within the ecosystem.
Right. It's extremely important, and we're so happy to be involved with you guys. So
awesome.
And there's lots on the way, and there's going to be, I think, a lot more projects that we're going to be working on. As I said, this particular collection continues to evolve. So it's going to generate, hopefully, even beyond our lifetimes. I mean, that would be the goal.
Yeah, hopefully it's just ever existing, continuously evolving, which would be fantastic.
Yeah, and we're working with all kinds of artists in the space.
Actually, I was going to ask you about your community, so please do share.
Yeah, the community is so incredible. Like I said, Val's vision was to create a fun, sacred space for artists and eclectics and musicians and things like that to come together, celebrate creativity, and create together. So we already have had, a large handful of artists that have actually physically met with Val, went to the studio. They're talking about what they're going to do and what collaborations that they're going to create. We have incredible artists like Remo and Tomer Peretz is on board right now. Orbs is there. Ali Sabet. There is a woman by the name of Oli, and her Twitter is Oli Sounds. She's an incredible musician, and she was inspired by Val and the documentary, and she created a song for him. So there'll be campfire songs. There's everything at Kamp Kilmer, whether you're kind of an emerging artist to a very well-known artist in the space, to a traditional artist that hasn't been in the space yet. We're bringing everyone together, and again, the premise is really love. So that's what we're committed to. And that is what Kamp Kilmer is.
Yeah, super incredible. And do you feel like, so as you mentioned, there's different types of backgrounds to these artists, right? Some might be newer to the space, some might be, have been in the space for a while. How about when it comes to the actual blockchain and crypto side of things? Have you felt like there needs to be like education that needs to be done, or how are you bridging the gap to all these different individuals contributing?
Yeah. Well, from an art standpoint, it's really interesting because right now there is an ecosystem in the crypto space. There's plenty of people who are in this space who are creating, and there's millions and millions of dollars in transactions that are happening every day. So the first place that we really did go to is this space. We wanted to go to the community, to the NFT community, because not only do they understand the crypto space and how to create the artwork, but they understand why they're creating the work. There's this really important element to anyone who creates in the space, and it's just about making a difference and doing things very authentically and from the heart. And artists in this space, anyone who has been in the space for any period of time, really truly understands that. And I think that if anyone's listening, they get this. So yes, we're scouring the space right now for people who are currently in it, of all different types, and building that community of artists. I was also very involved with like the LA Art Show and different traditional art spaces where there's artists who are very, very good at what they do, but they have no idea what's happening in crypto. So we are onboarding them as well into this space. And there's a slew of people who are helping do that. So it's really incredible to bring traditional artists into the space. As for the community, thus far, I think the initial Val has a ton of fans. He has fans inside of this space, and he has fans who don't even know a lot about the space. So I think a lot of it initially is going to be people in the space, but we are bringing people from outside of the space, that he has the connections to, into the space. So we're going to try it all. And we're very early, as you know, in kind of where we are with the blockchain and crypto. I personally was very involved in the Web1 space when it first started. And to me, it's extremely analogous of what's happening in the initial stages of the internet. People didn't understand what it was. They were scared to put their credit cards in. And that is what kind of is happening on the blockchain. There's people know about it. They know that a lot of transactions are happening. It's here. Some of them don't understand crypto, but people are starting to understand. And if you just really analogize it to the internet, and just all you really have to say, it's just like the internet. It's going to grow the same way. And that's why tools like yours are so important, because there has to be transparency. It's decentralized. There has to be fairness. And I think it's incredible that you provide that. It's essential.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very, very grateful that people and teams like yours are open to using it and really implementing it into such different types of work. We're involved in a lot of different sides of the ecosystem, but of course, the NFT world is so interesting to us because we're able to really touch an average person, a user directly. Some of the work that we do is a bit more on the back. So I think having this be something that these artists are going to actively see and be affected by is really exciting. And it's a very impactful space to be a part of. And everything that Kamp Kilmer is doing is just in general, I think something that like I'm personally really interested in, and I think the community is going to really love and dive into. And I think they're going to want to visit your metaverse. So yeah, do you want to share anything else about what type of events maybe you'll try to be
Yeah,
hosting in the metaverse or things like
I
that?
I just want to say one more thing. I was speaking the other day to people about the space and all the projects that are coming
Yeah,
out, and I thought to myself, it needs some of these projects need kind of a seal of approval or a stamp of
yeah,
approval just to determine who it is behind them and what's really happening. And I honestly believe that Chainlink is kind of like a seal of approval as it relates to that randomness and the generation, because again, it's technology, it's backed by a very serious company, and you're not playing around. So I think that that's
yeah,
kind of incredible. As for what's coming up next, we have the God Panels Mint, which will be this Friday, April 15th
yes.
at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You can actually get onto the pre-mint list right now up until tonight, the 13th of April at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. The cost is going to be, we kept the cost low for the community. It's 0.088 ETH.
Mhm.
And there's a very small supply. It's about 3,610 and 110 are being reserved. So that's what we're doing. On Friday, we're going to launch the metaverse. We'll have a big party in the metaverse that you saw. And it'll continually evolve in profound ways. And we're looking forward to people kind of joining us on this adventure.
Yeah, no, it is really exciting. I think people are going to be in there creating, collaborating, and hopefully just adding to this lifetime of artistic expression, as you said. And
Yeah.
so, moving forward, there might be some events, there might be different things happening in that metaverse. It sounds like so people need to just stay tuned and follow along.
Stay tuned. Come to the Discord, come to campkilmer.io, check out the Twitter spaces, and join the community, and it'll evolve in beautiful ways.
Incredible. Super excited. And just to close things out, is there any last thing that you wanted to share? Maybe some thoughts that you think maybe Val would want people to know about this project as they decide to dive into it and try to become a part of it?
Yeah. Again, you can actually just sign up to collaborate on campkilmer.com. But something that I'll tell you about Val, he's an extremely heartfelt, beautiful soul. He is committed to art, has been committed to art his entire career. He takes things very seriously when it comes to the art. He's delved into his characters. If you saw like what he did with Jim Morrison and other characters, the art and the poetry and everything he does with that kind of same feeling. And I'll tell you something, he's extremely humble. And if I would give a message that he would love to give to the community, is that he's inspired and grateful to be able to embark on this journey with this community. He's spoken to me about that. He texts me every day. He says it to the artists when he meets with them. And that's, I think, the most important thing to say about Val is how inspired and humbled and grateful he is to be able to be involved in this with everybody in this community.
Well, thank you. We're definitely really grateful to be a part of it as well, and hoping that more of both the Chainlink and the Kamp Kilmer community can come together, collaborate, and create some beautiful things around this. So, Randy, thank
Absolutely.
you so much. It was amazing
Thank you.
hearing this story.
Thank you, Zaji, so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Awesome. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in. And please come baback to watch some more Chainlink Q&As soon. And we are excited to see you in the metaverse. Thanks, everyone.